welcome Nunzia and Gisle.
Yeah.
Actually, I know Nunzia from Italy, but the
Yeah.
first time I am meeting with Gisle. How are you, Gisle?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Ah, thank you. It's better. I mean, because I have been in Italy for learning. I'm learning Italian, and then I
Italian.
yes, and then I was in France. But now I am here, and then I am just starting up with our, students, and usually at this time of, October, November, things getting much faster in a way. But
Mhm.
this eclipse coming and the Mars in
Yeah, very soon.
retrograde, it is rather, we are feeling kind of a very exciting period for the time being, I feel so. And then this time, actually, it is a great opportunity to meet with some astrology friends and astrologers. And this year, ISAR is organizing its first uh, astrology affiliated astrology school
Cool.
conference, which bring together many schools. But interestingly, for example, Gisle lives in the north, and I am in the east side, and Nunzia in the west. So it's a kind of a how can I say, an interesting combination, because astrology is a kind of a universal language,
Yeah,
at
it's a
least
global
we can
language.
share. So I would like to ask some about your talks,
Yes.
and also we can talk about the benefits of this conference, which we are going to make it first time, because different schools, different astrologers, different perspectives, and I guess students and astrologers alike, they are going to have many voices in this
Mm-hmm.
conference. And for example, Nunzia, you are also practicing some combination of
Yes.
Western and Vedic
And
astrology,
Eastern
I
astrology.
guess.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, would you tell us about your lecture? I think it is about the nakshatras.
Yes, about the nakshatras. I mean, we all start this conference thinking about the difficult time we are meeting very soon. We started on January 2020 with Saturn Pluton conjunctions, and then 24, 25, 25, 2026 till 2032 we can say we have a very difficult time. So what scenario would flash before us? How would we feel personally about these events? This is very important to me, and I'm trying to show how we can link to global events by the means of our inner life, by the strength of our natal nakshatra. Okay? Because we cannot change global events or any global cycle, but we have the possibility to intervene by following our inner nature. And our inner nature is very much, how can I say, symbolized by the personal nakshatra, not only by the sign it is occupying with the moon, but also because of the animal who represents it, the gods or goddess who represent it, and also very much about the desire we had in previous lives and in this life, and how to come in touch with this inner desire, the most important. We have many desires, of course, the most important, and now to get in touch with this desire to survive in in a most possible better way to these events.
The nakshatras, they are the actually lunar signs, and
Yes, lunar.
It is a different material. I mean, also there are some
Yes.
Arabic mentions, but for example, my own nakshatra, my moon nakshatra is Danishta.
Danishta, huh? Very good nakshatra.
And the allora
The gift.
I have moon in Aquarius, and
yeah,
then I am having this Saturn transit over my moon, which is quite
very important,
demanding. Yeah. And I think you are going to give you some global view, some mundane outlook by using this nakshatra.
A very general view, because we have only 20 minutes, I think, no?
Well, it is the first lectures, they are 45 minutes.
Then it's okay. Then I can do it with all the 27 nakshatra, so we can give, how can I say, the chance to all the people to have a close encounter with the personal nakshatra. Of course, general, but especially focusing the way to make deep meditation towards the personal nakshatra in order to find the desire I was talking about before and the strength to face the difficult time we are all getting into this time.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite a different look at the conditions that we are currently living. And Gisle, you are going to talk on Uranus esoterically. I think I have some information about your lecture topic. You are going to focus on Uranus, and you say that Uranus represents something kept a secret from the human mind, but also I think it's a kind of a threshold of consciousness for our being, for our maybe for our knowledge in general. But also I think you say something about sevenfold design. Would you like to give us some more information, some more catch phrases, something something important about this lecture?
Well, you are correct. Uranus organizes what is below according to the pattern that we have above. And this organization is actually according to the 7 rays, the sevenfold organization of life, which is very well defined in the theosophical literature.
Yes.
And the interesting thing is that this corresponds to the 7 chakras.
Oh, interesting.
And then, of course, it is about white magic, it's about occultism, and a number of other important issues. And it's our planet, as we know. Astrologers are, so to speak, ruled by Uranus.
Yeah, well, it is the Uranus. It's all. I love Uranus. I think most astrologers, because it brings some radical changes, but also it makes free us from the old patterns of thought. And I think as astrologers, we are teamed up with Uranus, and without knowing whether it is something very, I think an astrologer mind always is a kind of an Uranus, because we assume that we can see the things beyond the things, and something maybe there is no a linear time. The things that they are normally in our consciousness, we follow some reason, but with Uranus, I think the reason collapses in a different way, and we change our dimension in a way. I can say, because Uranus, even in my own natal chart, is in my 4th house, very close to IC point. And I feel that because interestingly, my family background comes from Poland, and many, I mean, 2 centuries ago, my grandfather, he was living in Poland. He was a kind of a noble man, and but there was this uprisings in 1848 in Europe, and so they escaped the Ottoman Empire. Interestingly, so I see that Uranus element in my life. It represents great changes and some disruption as well. So I think you are going to, Gisle, you are going to combine with your esoteric astrology, which also based on 7 rays. So these 7 rays, each ray is related to a planet.
Yes, that's true. So, and each planet can also be related to a chakra. So there you have the correspondence.
Yeah.
So, for example, when you look at the chart esoterically, in esoteric astrology way, as far as I know, I don't have much knowledge, but you measure maybe the intensity of this rays. For example, some people, they have more 4th ray, some people 7th ray.
Yeah.
So you can make a kind of a different interpretation, which shows the purpose of the soul, in a way we can say.
Well, it's actually very hard to delineate the purpose of the soul from the 7 rays. That's more a metaphysical perspective, which can be referred to, but that's not the main issue in my
lecture,
my speak, or in the lecture.
Yeah,
I will try to say something about Uranus, and of course it will be primarily a classical approach, but I will bring in some new thoughts with regard to how it works esoterically. For instance, it is the esoteric ruler in Libra.
Yes, yes.
And just to give a brief example of how that works, when it is the esoteric ruler in Libra, it sort of provides the perfect balance between spirit and matter. And in so doing, you will have the heavenly laws reflected on earth as proper human laws. And the heavenly love will be reflected as balance between the sexes. And the heavenly intelligence will be reflected on earth, for instance, as balance in state finances.
So it's a kind of something Venus related subject as well, you mean?
Yes, you could say so. But moreover, we will also look at how Uranus works in local space, in transits,
yes,
directions, and so forth.
So you are going to give some examples in transits, in progressions, in some space charts.
Yeah.
Look, okay, interesting. And I think, Nunzia, your astrology also relates to more purpose of the soul. Some, in Vedic astrology, there is this fundamental law that a karma law, I think.
Yeah, it is a karmic astrology, but it is also very much based on our place on this earth, on the human situation we are living with. So it is spiritual, but it is also very much practical, I can say. Yes. Because we are not only made by spirits, we are not only made by soul, we are body, we are material, we are senses, and we are such many things, and they all are very important. They all, how can I say, stay together with the spirit in our soul. Our soul is just, it's not just body, it's not just spirit, it's both of them. Sure. So the astrology we are following in our school is a very basic it is very much based on both spirit and body,
So
earth and sky.
yeah, and then when I think in your consultations with your clients, so you
Yeah.
are maybe trying to find a way of balance this.
Yeah.
When there is no balance, then we suffer a lot in our life.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We try together in our consultation with the client or the consultant, as we can say,
Yes.
we try together to find a way to balance. So this should not be counseled by me, but we, by the help of the natal map of the natal chart, we try to find it together according to the life that person, that very person is living on that exact moment. So we can do something with the previous life if it is important, only if it is important. Otherwise, we can really focus the present
Yeah.
life,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is very
So
important with the emotions, events, relationships, and so on.
thank you. Thank you,
So
Nunzia.
another thing, excuse me, Hakan, I will say another thing. Also, I'm not compulsory on sidereal chart. When I have a consultant with me, a client, I make sure the person will be more, can I say, confident with tropical or with sidereal. So we choose between tropical and sidereal, not trying to mix them together. If the person is very much involved with karmic approach of life, so we can easily go to the sidereal karmic astrology. If that person is not interested, I should give to that person what she's asking of.
Yeah, and then the nakshatras, they are based on the sidereal zodiac.
Exactly.
I find sidereal zodiac is so, I think, more, relates to not to this earth plane, physical plane, but more to the stars and more maybe
yes.
maybe how can I say, spiritual in a way.
Spiritual, but also earthen, because it is based on space, it is based on stars, it is based on constellations, with the precessional equinoxes, I don't remember how it is in English, but always related to the planet we are living in, which is Earth. So it is spiritual, but as I said before, also very, very much practical. With the animals we have in this place, in this planet. In this planet, we have a cow, we have a horse, we have some other animals, and they all have, they all are the archetypes of something which is very much inside ourselves, which is shown by the stars, by the constellations, by the nakshatras, the asterism, we can say, but which is very much inside ourselves, and in this plane, in this earthen plane we are living in.
So it is kind of also archetypal, you say.
The
animals represent
the
special facets of our psychology. So we combine these things.
And also objects, and also not only animals, but also some special objects, the bed, a chair.
Yeah, representations.
Representation, imaginal representation of our emotions.
Yes, yeah. So it is almost kind of a magical stuff as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we can say. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to just very shortly talk about my own lecture that I'm going to present a lecture on our, how a client prepares for a predictive work, actually. So I'm going to give several layers of astrological information, but these will be mostly practical. So I called it the practical toolbox of an astrological analysis, or in the yearly analysis. So it will be it serves to help students but also many other astrologers, that it's because I have been in astrology for almost 40 years now when I
Yeah,
was, so
yeah,
it is a kind of an, an accumulation of knowledge that I'm going
yeah.
to give some.
To
And
share. Yes.
yeah, and Gisle, uh, lastly, what would you like to tell us about this conference, that the benefits, or what would you think about these different schools coming together in this conference, which will be actually on the 19th and 20th November?
Well, I think it's a great effort on behalf of the team and the ISAR in order to lift the enthusiasm and motivation of all astrologers, because
Yeah.
we need the activity all around the globe. If not, the field of astrology will suffer. So a warm thank you to all those people who give their energy and time to astrology.
Thank you, Gisle, because actually we are still in COVID stage. It is
Mhm.
still here, but
Unfortunately,
for the last 2 years, really, actually, in a way, it helped us to connect online, but at least we are still feeling isolated, in
Mm.
isolation. So I think,
yeah.
for example, I was only able to go to Italy this year. For the last 2 years, we were in a cage. You know, normally it's better, because we are astrologers, a different species on the earth. So when we come together, we can talk, we can share our own knowledge and emotions that we need actually to share much
Yes,
closer way. So
yes,
I think
yes,
this
yes.
conference also help us in a way, such assembly of astrologers. And Nunzia, what would like to say us about the conference?
About the conference, I say what Gisle says. This is a great opportunity to all of us to stay together and to share our opinions, our knowledge, our experience, without being under the stress of antagonism. You know,
Yes, yes, in a way, yes.
you say something which is very important to you and which gives very much to me, and I do the same with you, and we all together, we can stay in peace. I mean, also, I feel this conference as an example of what is going on now. No, well, people are fighting each others now around
Yeah,
the
the
world
square between
because they have,
Saturn and Uranus, it's
yeah,
very
yes,
tight and
yeah,
very tense.
exactly, exactly. Because they have different ideals, not ideas. We also have different ideas, but we can stay together and smile together and have a good time together without pressing our opinions and ideals on the
Yes,
others. Because after all, it's a little bit difficult what I'm saying now, a little bit contradictory, I can say, because after all, astrology is a great hypothesis. We all
yeah,
have our own hypothesis, and this is the way to respect each other. Mine is an hypothesis. Yours also, and the other also. Staying together, we can find together
and
at least a piece of truth to share together.
so
In a,
it is an opportunity,
yeah,
and doing this,
great opportunity, a
yeah.
great opportunity.
So there
Yes.
will be panels that we are
Yeah.
going to go over some mundane outlook. Maybe we can talk about of our hypothesis and
Yeah.
Gisle's hypothesis and other astrologers'
And
hypothesis.
respecting the others.
Yeah.
Respecting the others on the same level. There is no a classical astrology against modern astrology,
Yes,
or
different.
modern
Yeah.
astrology against esoteric astrology. We are all together with the different ideas, and
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
all are precious, very, very precious. This is the way I feel this
Yeah,
conference.
yeah, yeah. I think this is why also there are many different astrologers with different schools, different schools of astrology.
Yeah, school.
So
So
for example, I am more in the traditional side of
Yeah,
astrology,
yes.
and you are in Vedic, and
Yeah,
Gisle is in esoteric.
esoteric.
So
Yes.
it's really a great combination.
It's a
And I thank you
wonderful
both to
Yeah.
joining this conversation, piccolo
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
I at least I was able to meet with you, and then also we are going to meet with others, with other astrologers
Yes.
on the conference. And
Yeah,
thank you
that's very
again.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hakan.
Okay, okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Have a
You are
nice
doing a
day.
great job. So many,
Okay.
many thanks.
Okay.
And see you in Italy. Yeah.
Ah, yes, I would come maybe even in December. I'm not sure, but
That's good.
we'll see.
Let's see. Let's see.
Forse,
Yeah?
forse. Ciao.
Ciao,
Ciao,
ciao.
ciao, ciao. Namaste, namaste. Ciao.
Ciao.
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
Gisle. See you
Bye,
see you
Gisle.
again.
See you.
Bye, 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 bye.